Hey everyone, good afternoon, and thank you for joining us today on this episode where we're going to be diving further into understanding more about the software engineering and cybersecurity fields. And we have some experts here with us who would be telling us more about this fields, this tech fields. We have with us Mansour Ibrahim, who is a seasoned software engineer and an IT consultant with a wealth of experience in engineering. He also specializes in developing secure and scalable microservices and architectures for enterprise applications. His proficiency extends to JavaScript, Node.js, PHP, and Java, enabling him to design and implement robust solutions tailored to business needs. He's grounded with a solid foundation in computer science and commitment to continuous learning. Mansell is furnished with knowledge and hands-on expertise. He's dedicated to driving innovation and delivering exceptional results. And currently, he's actively involved with Eduversity and EdTech startups and serves as a founding partner at Next Tech Innovators. We also have Muntiat Adiola with us here, who is a seasoned cybersecurity instructor with 3 years of industry experience. She has a strong background in network security and data protection. She has successfully trained and mentored numerous professionals in the field, and their expertise includes risk assessment, penetration testing, and security measures. She's committed to staying abreast in the latest cybersecurity trends. Thank you so much for joining us today. And we hope that through your expertise, um, our audience will be able to learn more about the software engineering and cybersecurity fields. So, just to kick things off, Mansur, would you like to give us an overview of what the software engineering field entails?
All right. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. I appreciate the pleasure and the opportunity to speak to the three MTT participants. So basically, software engineering in an overview. Software engineering. I'll start by defining software. Software basically is a computer program that is capable of solving computational problems. And then putting together with software engineering, I think it's a discipline that involves with this design, development, testing, deployment, and maintenance of software systems. And software engineering encompasses various methodologies, tools, and techniques to ensure efficient and reliable production of high quality software. And software engineering has a couple of key aspects, which include requirement analysis, software design, coding, testing, deployment, and maintenance. So basically, software engineering methodologies are actually frameworks that provide guidelines, processes, and best practices for managing the development of software projects. And I would like to highlight a couple of software engineering methodology. The most common ones, which are the Agile, the Waterfall, the DevOps, and each with its own approach to project management and collaboration. Software engineers use programming languages, frameworks, and libraries to build applications for various platforms, including web, mobile, on desktop. Quality assurance practices such as testing, code reviews are highly crucial for ensuring software reliability and security. With the advent of continuous integration and continuous deployment, pipelines automate the process of building, testing, and deploying software updates. Overall, software engineering aims to meet user needs, adhere to the industry standard, and deliver value through efficient and scalable software solutions. So as they embark on the journey to learn software engineering, I'm sure they're going to come across the numerous software engineering methodologies, as I've mentioned earlier, which involve the waterfall and the agile, the DevOps. I think these are the most basic ones, whereby we have agile has been broken down into a couple of frameworks. which I believe they're going to learn more about it. And so that brings us to the question, why should they study software engineering? Basically, studying software engineering is going to give them a lot of benefit, numerous benefits, which ranges from the numerous career opportunities that it comes with. Software engineering skills are in high demand across various industries, providing ample job opportunities and career advancement prospects. And with the software engineering skills is capable of shaping their problem-solving skills, teaching them analytical thinking and problem-solving skills, which are essential for tackling complex technical challenges in this 21st century. And software engineering skill will expose them to a lot of things that will sharpen their innovation and creativity, and it will foster creativity and innovation by enabling them to develop new software solutions and technologies to address local and societal problems. I will encourage them because if you look at the Africa and especially Nigeria, there are a lot of problems to solve, and we are not like the Western world where a lot of problems has been solved, but we have a lot of problems here which should be solved, and it's an ample opportunity for all of them to explore and find their ways around. And one of the reasons I think which each and every one of them would be should be excited to study software engineering is the fact that there is high salaries. The pay is high. So yeah, most companies pay software engineers high. So I think that's another reason they should go ahead and push and put in all their best, put in all the efforts to study software engineering. And then software engineering also is capable of giving them the flexibility, unlike other fields. Software engineering is like medicine, whereby you have to be in the office, in the hospital every day to look after your patients. With software engineering, you can have the flexibility to work remotely, work at your own pace, and work at your own time, provided that you are delivering results and providing value. And that way, you're going to have a very a greater work-life balance, and you tend to be more comfortable. So the field of software engineering will enable them to actually imbibe the attitude of continuous learning. In order for them to be successful, they will really need to imbibe the spirit of learning, continuous learning, and learn and unlearn. And it's actually a platform that they could venture into entrepreneurship with software engineering skills, so they could be empowered to pursue entrepreneurial ventures by developing and launching their software products and startups, as long as they are committed. So overall, studying software engineering equips individuals with valuable skills, open doors to diverse career paths, and enable them to contribute to technological advancement and societal progress. And
Awesome. Thank you. Okay.
okay, okay. I would like to touch on the potential opportunities for software engineering.
Mhm.
Yeah. So basically, software engineering offers a wide range of potential opportunities across various industries and domains. As a software engineer, you will be opportune to work in a technology companies, companies like Google, Microsoft, Apple, or Amazon, and a lot of other startups around the world. And you would be qualified to work in the finance and banking sector. You will be qualified to work in the healthcare sectors, build electronic health record systems, medical imaging software, telemedics platforms, and a lot of other stuff hacks you could be involved with. You could find yourself in the e-commerce space. You could find yourself in the gaming industry, Software engineers are highly needed in the automotive industry with the advent of the autonomous cars. And software engineering also is a high demand in the aerospace and defense industries. So there are a lot of opportunities in software engineering, and these are just a few examples of diverse opportunities available in software engineering. With the increasing digitalization of industries and the growing demand for software solutions, the possibility for software engineers are continually expanding. Yeah, I think I'll stop it.
All right, thank you so much, Manso, for that overview of software engineering. At this point, I'll be calling on Mutiat to give us an overview of the cybersecurity field and what it entails. Hi, Mutiat, you are muted.
All right. Good afternoon. So today I'm excited to present you what cybersecurity entails. Like we all know, cybersecurity is not just a field that is vital in today's landscape, but cybersecurity is also a bringing opportunities for those who choose to study it. First of all, before I dive into my points, let me start from the definition of cybersecurity. What cybersecurity entails. So, cybersecurity is just the practice of protecting your computer systems, networks, and data from attacks. Then, these attacks can come in various ways, like the malware, the ransomware, phishing, and more. And you know, the primary goal of this cybersecurity now is just to protect our data from the unauthorized access from the attackers, and we make use of what we call CIA triad. The CIA simply means confidentiality, integrity, and availability of data, while the confidentiality part is like you are encrypting your data to unmeaningful words so that unauthorized people will not have access to your data. And the integrity part is that you make sure it's not tampered by anyone. It is how it is, how you how you come up with it, how you wrote your data, it is how it is from the scratch to now. And then we have what we call the availability part, which is you should be able to provide your information whenever it is needed. So this is how we come across the CIA triad. And again, why do we study the cybersecurity of the team? Why is it that important for us to study cybersecurity? So the number one part of it is let's say the global impact. Yeah. The global impact of it is because this global impact is individual with expertise in this field so that we can make a meaningful impact by combating cyber threats on a global scale. And again, the reason why we study cybersecurity is because it is a growing demand, because it is increasing the way cyber threats is increasing, how these threats, stealing data, and all is arising. So there's a regional demand for cybersecurity professional across the industries and across the globe. So one of the reasons why we study cybersecurity is like we are protecting our critical infrastructure. We are protecting it so that this our protecting plays a crucial role. So in the healthcare sector, financial institutions, and government sectors, they all need cybersecurity experts to protect their digital career. And also for the career stability and growth, as we all know, and the demand for cybersecurity professionals is like far exceed that current supply offers stable career prospects and opportunities for advanced, then and so forth. We have many reasons of studying cybersecurity as we are in global world now. And I would like to talk about potential opportunities in cybersecurity. Like we all know, cybersecurity is vast and diverse. It's so broad. There are so many fields we can specialize on. Like one of it is the cybersecurity analyst. If you are a cybersecurity person, you must know where your strength lies and where you want to focus on, because don't say you want to be that of all things. You should have where you are like, okay, this is where I want to specialize on. You can say, okay, I want to specialize in cybersecurity analyst, and the roles for a cybersecurity analyst is that you analyze security threats, you monitor systems for breaches, and you implement security measures to tell them the solutions for future purpose. Then we have another field, which is the ethical hacker and the penetration testing. So in this role, as a penetration tester or ethical hacker, you just identify the vulnerabilities in the systems, the networks through penetration testing, vulnerability assessment, or and again, in cybersecurity, we also have another field, which is again security consultant. If you want to be your own boss, you don't want to work under anybody, or you get employment in the consulting firms, you can be a security consultant by advising organizations on the best security practice. Then you help them to check for risk management and then compliance with regulations. As we all know, all organizations have their policies, so you make sure they are like comply with all the rules and regulations. And again, we have what is called incident responder. If any incident occur at all, you want to like come up with responding to incidents, investigate the breaches, what happened, and then implement measures to mitigate the future risks, what might arise in the future. Also, we have security architecture and a lot more. And as a security architecture, you design secure systems and networks. You just make sure that the organization meets the standard and regulatory requirements like the ISO 27001, ISO 21434, and PCI DSS. So you make sure that all the companies are compliant with the rules and the regulatory requirements. So now, in conclusion, so cybersecurity is not just a field, like I said, it's a mission. If you don't say, okay, I want to study cybersecurity without having passion for it, it is that passion that will motivate you. So it's and cybersecurity is all about you protecting the digital infrastructure that underpins our modern society. So and you are not only equip yourself with valuable skills, but also you are contributing to a safer and secure digital world. So thank you for your attention. This way I'm stopping for now. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mutiat. I believe you've been able to impact our audience so far, but just a feedback. It looks like your audio is not very good. So there's some parts of what you were saying that were kind of breaking. So if you could just check that out quickly. But thank you so much. So there's this question that has been coming up. It's also something that I've also had to um discuss with people, right? Some people will tell you, oh, I'm a software engineer or I'm aspiring to be a software engineer. And other people would be like, oh, I am aspiring to be a software developer. So, Manso, as a professional in this field, what would you say? Are there like clear-cut differences between the two, or are they more similar than they are different? A software engineer and a software developer.
Software engineer and a software developer. Well, there have been a lot of mis misconception or interchange in the differentiation of software engineer and software developer. Because I have come to meet a couple of some companies that recognize software engineer, software developer, and I've seen those who recognize software developer and software engineer. But based on my own understanding, software developer is someone who really understands how to program, who can program actually, but probably lack the in-depth knowledge of system architecture, or lack the in-depth knowledge of or let's say extreme design patterns, and have a certain lower level of understanding of software engineering, basically. And then software engineer is someone who have a very wide scope knowledge of the whole aspect of software development completely, from the analysis to the implementation and deployment and maintenance level. And then software developer, most software developers, my own understanding, are those who can actually implement, but they might really lack, they might be lacking in terms of analysis and design, but they can actually implement, like they can code. Yeah, I think that's my take on that.
Awesome. So is there like a particular, is there how do I put it, a field that is ranked higher than the other? From what you said, it's like, software engineering is like more holistic, right? So are you going to
Absolutely.
be advising someone to, start from software development and transition into software engineering, or do they like go head on into the software engineering field?
As someone who is starting and you really want to make it through early and really have fun in the field, I think you start try to become a software developer first. And as time goes on, you might start benefiting from the acts from software engineering. And as going forward, you can expand your knowledge and become a full software engineer.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. I'm also seeing a question here that says, what is the correlation between software engineering and cybersecurity? So, maybe you can just answer it from your perspective as a professional in the field. Have there been times where you had to, kind of implement some certain cybersecurity practices, and then also Mutia will also go telling us from her own perspective, how they relate as well.
All right. I think as a software engineer, it is important for you to actually have a very good understanding of cybersecurity, because if you cannot really build secure systems, then you are I don't think if you're worthy of being recognized as a software engineer. Once your system is not secure, uh, your users are not safe, and if your users are not safe, then your system is worthless. So cybersecurity is important for software engineers. And it's a knowledge I think every software engineer should try to acquire. Should have a very uh, not yeah, basic understanding actually of software engineer, or understand the OWASP principle, OWASP, and then understand all the cyber security principles of software engineering.
Great, thank you. Muti, would you like to add to that?
Yes, I would like to add to it. Because somehow cybersecurity and software engineering are interrelated. They are somehow related. Because there are some fields in cybersecurity that you need this coding routine, you need Python, JavaScript, development. Okay, let's assume you are a penetration tester and we are testing for an app, right? We are testing for an app, like it said, you will use OWASP, which is tools for checking for an app. So you will need the knowledge of Python, JavaScript, C++, and all. So we are somehow related with them. So it's also essential if you are in cybersecurity and also the coding. So hello.
There.
Sounds like
Am I
she's having difficulty with her network.
Yes, yes, it looks like. Okay, awesome. So coming back to you, man. So far you have shared um a lot of insights about the software engineering field. So what specifically, what are some of the tools that you would recommend that a learner has to, pick up or has to put in more focus over the others, right, when starting out as a software engineer, yes, engineer rather, and especially as someone without any prior knowledge.
All right. First thing the first number one advice I give people is for them to understand themselves first. You understand what you're good at. There are people who are very good with logic, and there are people who are very good. They're very creative and they are very good with visuals. So from the start, I would advise you to recognize that. Are you good with logic or are you good with visuals? And from there, you decide where you want to focus on. You're going to start from the back end, or you're going to start from the front end. Once you recognize that, and then if you recognize front end as your starting point, then I think you need to have a very good understanding of HTML and CSS. And CSS is very important. And then you move forward to JavaScript, and you have a solid understanding of those basics. Then you could move forward to frameworks like React and Vue.js. And I recommend a roadmap. That's a roadmap.sh. As a beginner, you need to have a roadmap. And one of the most amazing roadmap I've come across in the internet is the roadmap.sh. They have an amazing roadmap there, which you can follow to get to whatever height of software engineering you want to. There are roadmap for front end, roadmap for React developers, roadmap for backend developers, roadmap for almost every aspect of software engineering. So they should follow a roadmap, and I recommend that roadmap. Roadmap.sh is you guys should take note of it. Roadmap.sh.
Thank you so much, Mansell, for sharing that. Emmanuel from the chat is also asking that, with the increase in AI products, for example, delving the AI software engineer, wouldn't there be a drastic reduction in software engineering opportunities?
I don't think there will be reduction. If you have been using AI, let's say those who have really I've used ChatGPT to write code, and it's not perfect yet, and I'm not sure if it's going to be perfect. It will ever be perfect, because they are always going to make one or two mistakes, which there will really be a need for a human to really cross-check whatever they are written. And Devin currently, at the state of Devin Devin cannot decide to code by itself. You have to tell Devin to code, and you have to tell Devin what you want him to do. So they are powerful, but they are incapacitated. So the need for software engineers will continue to be, and will always be in demand. The market is there for us. So they are not taking our jobs. They are only going to speed up our jobs. They are only going to make our job easier for us. So it shouldn't be a thing for concern for anyone venturing into software engineering.
Also, yes, I totally agree with that because there's always this debate about AI coming for our jobs, AI will phase out humans and just a lot of conversations around that. So yeah, thank you for debunking that. I'm still um looking at the software engineering field a bit more. So what at what point is there like an ideal time frame you would say, oh, it takes for someone to go from a novice or a beginner to like a full out software engineering professional? Also, when you look at other um branches like front end engineer or front end developers, back end and full stack, what would you say someone would need to do to actually find their niche or where they intend to focus on as a software engineer?
Like I said earlier, one thing I would advise everyone is for you to find yourself, understand yourself first. What are you good at? Are you good with visuals? Are you good with visuals or you're good with logic? Are you more of a creative kind of person? Are you good with colors? Or you're just basically good with logic and arithmetic? If you're actually good with logic, like myself, I think you start from the back end. You focus on the back end aspect of software engineering. If you're really good with if you're creative and very good with visuals and design, what have you, I think you go for the front. You start from the front end. I think that should be the basis of your own decision. There are people who are all good with both, so it'll be up to you to decide which side to start. But you can start from anywhere. You can start as a back end, you can start as a front end, you can end up being a full stack. The choice is all yours. It's left for you to decide. But the important thing is to know what you are good at. If you are very good with logic, if you understand logic very well, and you have no problem with arithmetic, I think it will be faster for you to go through the back end. And if you're very creative and very good with visuals, I think it will be faster and easier for you to start on the front end. I hope I answered the question correct.
Oh yes, you did. Mutiat, if you're able to speak now, please let me know. Hi, Mutiat.
Same she's frozen.
Yes, I can.
Did you say something?
Yes, I'm here. I can speak now.
Okay, your audio is still quite breaking, still shaking. Is it better now? Can you say something less? Check.
Yes, I said I can speak now.
Okay, it's not just me, right? Because it's really bad. I can barely hear you.
I think
Okay,
she try and change her location, or she's change her network. If she can hear me, if you can switch network, maybe. So it all depends on where she is.
yeah, exactly. Okay, so now I remember like when I asked you about the correlation between the software engineering and the cybersecurity field, how it relates, and I remember you talking about having to ensure that the infrastructure that you are building as a software engineer has to be a secure one. So are there like clear-cut steps that every software engineer or like lay down rules that software engineers need to always have like at the tip of their fingers while building out an infrastructure.
Can you come? Sorry, can you come again? Sorry.
So I asked that when I asked.
Hello, is it my network or your network? I think it's breaking. Hello. Oh, it's serious.
The infrastructure you are building, while building out an infrastructure, they need to have on their mind or at the tip of their fingers to ensure that um, whatever software application you're putting out there is secure.
Oh, I think there's a standard. There's what's the abbreviation? Oh, OWASP, open application security project. There is a standard for software engineers and software developers to follow. in making sure that their application is highly secured. And can I remember all those standards? I always cross I can't remember them from the top of the head actually. But you have to Google OWASP, OWASP, or is it OWAPS? It's an open source standard where professionals and experts have come together to develop a security standard for software engineers. Whenever you are implementing a secure system, you have to obey all those standards. Yeah. I don't know why I can't just remember the list of the standards. Yeah. So they can check OWASP, OWASP.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you so much for sharing that.
I think I
I
remember.
just
I think I remember.
okay.
I think the latest ones. Oh, I remember there's injection, sensitive data exposure. You have to make sure that your data are not sensitive data are not exposed, like maybe exposing your user ID. That's a terrible thing to do while developing a software. So that's why we use authentication or authentication tokens to identify user from the front end instead of the user ID. So you have to make sure that stuff like that are highly secured. And then there's cross-site scripting and insecure decentralization. And some of them actually, a lot of I think there are about 10 or just 7. Yeah. They do review them annually. So you have to be updating yourself, understanding what's the what has changed, what is the trending thing, what is the current vulnerability. So that's it. That's why you have to continue learn and unlearn. So you have to keep up with the development.
Okay. I've also seen another question here that says, how many programming languages would you need to know before I'm hearing some background noise. Like,
I think it's Munir
how
over
many
chat.
okay, how many programming languages would you need to know before you can consider yourself a full-blown professional in software engineering field?
Well, I would say one programming language, and then if you are for front end, I think you only need to understand HTML, CSS, and JavaScript to be a full-blown front end engineer. And if you're for back end, it's important as a back end engineer to have a basic understanding of the front end, and then understand one programming language. You can just understand JavaScript, where you can use Node.js in the back end, and you can understand Java, just Java. And I always advise whoever that is starting up in the tech or in the tech industry should focus on mastering one programming language. And then if you are opportune, if you have the time and you can be able to learn the concept and organization of programming languages, it will help you. You'll go a long way in helping your career. Because if you understand the concept and organization of programming languages, you don't just understand one language. You get to understand how the programming languages have been built. You understand how the programming languages interact. How you understand how the programming languages function. And when you are learning a language, you will not just understand the syntax and semantics of that language. You'll be able to reason with the way the language is reasoning and with the way the language is behaving. So just master one programming language and understand programming concept. And I think there are 5 things I will advise them to make sure once they understand that they should go ahead and start implementing a project for their personal project. Once you understand how to make a statement in a programming language, you understand how to You understand conditional statement. You understand data structures. Or yeah, let's say, okay, data types. You understand data structures. And that's all. I think you're good to go, because almost everything that you do with any programming language rally all around these things. So once you understand them and have a basic understanding of the programming language syntax and semantics, then you're good to go. You don't have to learn every bit, every little, and every tiny library, core library of that language. You can go ahead and start developing something which will enable you to have a very good understanding of what you've learned. Yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Utiat, is the network situation better now?
Yes, I think so. Sorry, my network.
Yeah, it's better.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah, we
glad to have
understand.
you. I'm glad I can hear you clearly now. The
Awesome.
network
So we've had
was
lots of
disturbing me.
questions. Okay.
All right.
Oh, that's go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm saying that there's been a lot of questions around the cybersecurity field, and I was, really crossing my fingers that you would come back sooner, so we will tackle some of these questions. Awesome.
All right.
So someone is asking, how can a cybersecurity or analyst identify that there is an attack in a company that he or she works in order to tackle it on time to avoid damages? So basically, how do you point out security breaches in your, you know, infrastructure?
Okay. So how can you point out this cybersecurity monitoring? Is it like incident response?
Looks like we lost her again.
Ah, it's terrible. It's terrible.
Okay. Notwithstanding that, let's keep the conversation going, pending when she's able to get it fixed. So, Shiba.
Or like,
Sounds like,
okay, let me just start from this.
oh my God.
When you are using it tools, we have so many tools in cybersecurity that you can use.
Okay. So we know that the software engineering field, basically the tech industry is a fast-paced one, and there are new tools, new developments, new things that are upcoming in the industry. So as a software engineering, whether as a software engineer rather, whether as a professional or even a newbie in the field, what are some of the ways that you can ensure that you're staying informed
Yeah.
about these new technologies and best practices?
Can you please come again? I'm a bit distracted. Can you please come again? There's someone coming. Someone
Okay,
came in. So
okay. So
sorry.
I said we know that the tech field is a fast-paced one, and there are new tools, new technologies that are springing up almost on a daily basis, right? So as a software engineer, whether as a professional or as a newbie in the field, what are some of the ways that you can stay informed about these new technologies or even best practices in the industry?
Um, well, a person like me, I often will listen to some trending podcasts, and then I I go for a lot of meetups. You need to join a community, be part of a community. Tech community actually is very important. I think the advice I would give them as their running their program, the 3MTT program, I think is an opportunity for them to
Sorry,
network.
please, can you all
It,
hear me
it,
now? I just want to indicate if my network is okay now.
Okay, yeah, it's better. So maybe
Yeah,
once
we can
Manso
hear
is
you.
done, you can continue.
All right.
So I think it's important for them to really have a community, and then you get to learn from one another. When someone get to learn about a new trend, you go for a meetup, they share the ideas, they share what they've learned, you learn from them. And then Twitter is also a place where you can keep in touch and be up to date with the new development. And there are a lot of software development communities on um what do you call it? Slack, sorry, what do you call it? Ah, what's now yeah, on Discord.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
on Discord. Yeah. So you get to join a couple of communities, and people, all software engineers all over the world will get to be talking about interesting things, and you try to attend conferences, um, just attend meetups, you get to learn a lot, and make Google your friend. Yeah, as a software engineer, Google will be your friend, your buddy. Carry on along. Even though ChatGPT is trying to take over from Google now, it's trying to take over from Google, but I see Google is still relevant. It's still relevant. So yeah, you just have to try to find a way to just. You can ask Google what's trending this year, what's trending this month, what's the latest technology this year, and keep up. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Mutiat, over to you.
Yes, like I said, we have tools for monitoring all our incidents. Like if you want to know maybe there is an attack, we have one tool that is like should I say Microsoft Sentinel. When you are in cloud security, we have it will be alerting you if there is any threat or someone is trying to log into your systems with brute force attacks or many such of maybe hacking techniques. That sentinel will pop you up and you will see all the threats, and it will give you the severity. Maybe the severity is low, high, medium. Then after that, you know what to do, like you mitigate it for them. So in case of if how to know if there is a breaches, the steps to know that is like through vulnerability assessment or penetration testing. Like I mentioned, maybe it's my network. I said there is a tools like OWASP. It's for checking for bugs, checking for data breaches. So when you use that tools, you can get maybe there's a breaches in your internet or your networks. So without all these tools, there is no how you can know if there's breaches or not. So all these tools you will be trained on before you graduate from this cybersecurity. And at the end of this cybersecurity, you should be able to use all the tools effectively so that you can work with them as times goes on. Yeah. I believe
Thank you
I'm
so
audible
much.
now. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much, Mutiat, for sharing that. There's also another question here, and it's come up a lot. It says, how how can cybersecurity studies help transform Nigeria's security challenges? As we can see, there are so many cyber crimes that is taking place in the country. So, the cyber what measures can a cybersecurity expert, I believe, help? Did you get that?
No, the network was breaking. Please, can you just
Okay, so
repeat?
I'll take
Yeah.
it again. The question
Yes.
says, how can cybersecurity help transform Nigeria's security challenges? So as we can see, there are so many cyber crimes taking place in the country. What are the measures that a cybersecurity expert or professional can help?
Okay, for the current situation in Nigeria or in Africa, we all know that there is cyber threat, and that is why there is high demand of cybersecurity professionals across the globe. It's not only Nigeria, it is across the globe. So, with the use of these tools, when you enroll in the cybersecurity, with the use of the tools they taught you, you can be able to use them effectively to tackle security challenges at all. And when you're in the field, they will teach you of what they call the VPNs, how you can shield your IP from all these attackers. You know, we have VPNs whereby it will help you to cover your own information. You know, IP contains our information. Whenever we buy SIM, for example, if you buy a SIM from an ISP company, we do register our SIMs, right? So all our informations are there. So these VPNs will help us to shield our networks, our IPs, and then we have all these tools like the IDS, intrusion detection prevention systems, and all these tools will help us. Like, let's assume we are using intrusion detection system. This one will help you to detect that one IP is coming in, that there is an attacker coming in that is not in your organization. So it will tell you that you should go and know what to do. And we also have another tools that is IPS. IPS will help you to prevent an attacker that is coming in. It will tell you, it will pop you up that an attacker is coming in with this IP. It will show you the attacker IP. And we have the IDPS, which is the combination of IDS and IPS. So it will help you to like detect and prevent them, it mitigates them for you. So we have a lot of tools that we can put in place, like the extension. We have the shield. We have the software called Shield. This Shield is what we use for DOS attack, because DOS attack and phishing attacks are the common attacks that we are facing globally, not only Nigeria. So there is this Shield will help us to overcome all these DOS and DDoS attacks. So with the help of these tools, I believe we can overcome them. And what we are doing presently, that is why cybersecurity is high demand. If you are a cybersecurity professional and you are good, you can do all these things. Believe me, you are not in the wrong place. There is a lot of opportunities in cybersecurity. So thank you.
Thank you, Mutiat. There's also another question that says, how do firewalls protect network security?
Okay.
Would you like to take that?
Yeah. I will. So firewall, like, oh no, firewall is just like it's monitor your outgoing and incoming traffic. So firewall will help you to know the one going out and the one coming in. It will help you to detect, because these IPs, we have so many types of IPs or classes of IPs. If your organization is using class A IP, and the firewall already knows that your organization is using class A IP, and then class B IP is now coming in, firewall will help you to detect. It will tell you that there is another IP coming in, and the firewall already knows. You have already put a rules on the firewall. Is either to deny or allow any IP that is different from your organizations. So this firewall is not just working. You are the one that is giving the firewalls a rule. You put a rule there. So when you are in training, they will teach you all this. They will teach you how to deny and how to allow and outside IPs that is not your organization's IPs. There's a way all these things are being detected. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mutiat. There's also another question here that says, is coding needed in cybersecurity?
I would say yes and no, depending on where you specialize on. We have some field in cybersecurity that don't need coding at all, like the GRC do not need coding. I know a friend that is a lawyer and into cybersecurity, and she based on GRC because she don't have that strength of cramming coding of a team. She's not good in mathematics and coding. So she specialized in GRC. But if you want to specialize in penetration testing, application tester and all, you have to know how to code, but not all the coding though it's not all the coding because we have so many coding. We have the C++, we have the JavaScript, we have the Python, we have the .NET, React Native, and all. So you don't need all these things. A Python is good to go if you're a cybersecurity person. Only Python can help you to become a cybersecurity and a pen testing professionals. Thank you. I believe I answered
Okay,
the question.
thanks so much for clearing that up. Yes, you did. Someone is also asking, with no experience, how long will it take me to be market ready in cybersecurity?
Okay, with no experience. Okay, for me, what I do advise my students most is if you are coming to cybersecurity, you should just like don't have this agony of money. I want to make this money. If you are chasing the money, you won't have that skills. Just pull that money aside. Do you get it? Though in cybersecurity you make the money definitely, but if you put this money in your mind, you won't do what is necessary at the right time. So I can tell you with zero experience, if you are that person that make research, but cybersecurity is about you're making research, make research and make more research and more research. If you are now making the research and you're sound, you can do many tactics in cybersecurity. You can use so many tools on in your field. So with zero experience, within a year, you are good to go. Yes, though in cybersecurity, they need someone that has experience, but you can start from internship first. Don't say, okay, because I want money, let me run to entry level. No, you can start from internship, maybe paid or unpaid internship. We have volunteers that you can just gain the skills. After gaining the skills, then you go to the market and start applying. Even where you are doing the volunteer jobs, they can retain you when you see that yes, you have all what we need. So in this field, I believe within 1 year, if you know what you're doing, yeah, you're good to go. Yes.
Awesome. And since you also, touched on the financial part, um, would you also try to emphasize more on that? For example, what is the say earning potential of someone in aspiring to become a cyber security professional?
Sorry, come again.
I said, whilst you were answering the previous question, you mentioned a person not having to focus so much on the financial aspect. So
Yes.
I'm saying based off of that, what would you even say is the um earning potential of someone who is aspiring to become a cybersecurity professional?
Yes, like I said, if you want to become a cybersecurity professional, you should know how to make research on maybe you join a community web webinar like this, conferences, and or you on LinkedIn, there's so many communities there. But first of all, like I do say, don't put this don't say, okay, I want to make money. If you have the mind of, okay, I want to go and make this money, it is that money that will be weighing you down. It will weigh you down that you won't know what next to do. That's what I said. So if you just put money aside, then you go for cybersecurity on its own. You are learning many skills. You have peers that you can say, okay, I need this. Can you just take me through this? Okay, which time can we have a meeting or a training? You can schedule your time maybe in the midnight. You go to YouTube, simply learn Udemy. Aside from your training, your personal training, you just give yourself like you discipline yourself that okay, in every week I want to be studying on my own 2 days in a week for 3 hours or 2 hours. That's good because even an hour you gain something. Talk less of 2 hours. So with that, you can become a professional cybersecurity expert. Latest 2 years, you're good to go. 2 years, latest, it's 2 years.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mutiat. And still, similar question to you, Mansoor. Someone is asking what is the potential of earning as a software engineer in Nigeria? And also, with that, also answer this question. There's another one that says which of the back end or front end matters most in terms of financial profitability. So they are both very similar questions. You could take them together.
Sorry, are you talking to me or Mansur?
Yes, Mansoor.
Alright.
Yeah, the earning potential is there are a lot of there are a lot of opportunities in Nigeria actually for software engineering. I think when it comes to technology, actually, if I am not being selfish or trying to I think Nigeria is ahead is leading in Africa, and we have one of the highest number of startups currently in I think in West Africa, and you don't just you cannot just open to opportunities within Nigeria. The world is a global world now, and actually I love to call it a remote village. So you must not necessarily work with a Nigerian firm as a software engineer. You have a lot of opportunities to get yourself engaged and involved with um, other or companies from all over the world. And then it's important, like I make mention earlier, you need to find yourself a community, a tech community. You need to get yourself involved with the tech community. It's very important. It's very, very, very important. I'm making emphasis on that because when I was starting myself, I think my first gig was recommended. I was recommended by a friend that I met at a meetup. So we get to meet at the meetup, we talk about technology, we share ideas. I tell him what I'm doing and tell me what he was doing. And then he came across an opportunity that kind of fits what I do and then what I told him I was doing. So he recommended me, and that was how I got my first opportunity. So that's why I say it's very important. The community is very important. The opportunities are out there. It's only if you don't have the skills. But as long as you have the skills, the opportunities are out there. I always tell people saying, oh, there are no jobs in Nigeria, there are no jobs, there are no employment. But if you look out there and see the number of jobs passing around, and then you look at it, and then you realize that uh, there are a lot of jobs, but a lot of us don't have the skill that is required. So the most important thing is for you to upskill yourself, get the skill first, and then you take advantage of the opportunities. It's always advisable for you to be prepared before the opportunity come. Don't wait for the opportunity to come before you start preparing. Prepare yourself. And then the question on front end and back end, which is entitled to more remuneration, right? I
Yes,
think I
it's
got the
kind of
question
like,
right.
yeah, which one pays better, which one has more
And
financial profitability.
well, I don't think if there's anything like which one pays better in that very aspect. It's just how good you are and how well are you when it comes to negotiation. If you can be able to negotiate a higher pay for yourself, the company will willing to pay the same price of front end and back end engineers. And most companies is like that. As long as you're a front end, you're a back end engineer, most of them have almost the same salary. But when they are hiring you, your ability to negotiate or your skill level will determine how much you make. And your experience level actually will determine how much you make. So it doesn't matter which one you go for. You are entitled to high pay as long as you have the skill. Yeah.
Yes, I think it was really important that you mentioned that. Thank you so much, Mansoor. Um, Also, just to point out, I've seen a couple of comments around, people saying they have to study cybersecurity for 3 months on that 3MTT program. And, Mutiat made mention of, having to maybe study for about a year or two to become an actual professional. So, I think it's important that we understand that your learning does not just start and end in the 3MTT program, because I'm sure as Manso also pointed out, when I asked about how to keep yourself up to date with industry trends, um there are lots of things coming up on a daily basis. There are lots of things that you also need to, if you don't continue improving yourself, your knowledge will get outdated, and basically you have to keep on learning. The phrase that goes, "Oh, learning never ends," it is true across, a lot of the fields, and especially in the tech field. So yes, 3 months might not seem sufficient enough, but it is a very good way for you to kickstart your journey and still keep on learning on your own. So we're gradually winding up, coming to the end of this webinar today. So just as a final word of advice, Muchiat, what would you like to say to aspiring cybersecurity fellows who are listening to us today?
All right, thank you. So let me start from where you stopped. You said 3MTT aims to train for 3 months. And I mentioned 1 to 2 years. Yes, because we all know that this field is an evolving one. That it doesn't end in 3 months or 1 year or 2 years. Even me as an expert, I'm still learning. We have someone that has experience in like 15 years experience, 20 years experience. They are still learning. That means you learn on the go. You don't learn everything in 3 months or in 1 year or 2 years. But the 3 months training is good for you when you put your mind in it, and at the end you gain a volunteer, maybe paid or not paid. Through all these opportunities you learn, there is so many opportunities in tech. Depending on how you advertise yourself, just go to your LinkedIn, sell yourself on LinkedIn, Instagram, and all. When employers sees your profiles, they might contact you directly, or you go to community, make friends, let them know what and what you do. For example, I can like advise you should maybe anything they taught you in the class. Hello? Oh, network. Hello?
We can hear you.
Okay. So anything they taught you in the class, maybe today they train you on vulnerability assessment. You just go to your LinkedIn profile and say, today what I learned in 3MPT was about this, about that. You start compiling all these contents on your LinkedIn profiles, Slacks, and all. You have many communities to. So with that, I can tell you, if you don't, even me that I'm here, I don't know anyone, but it is through this social media that the God knows all. They knows you through the social media. Okay, there's somebody I met on social media, then from USA, and he contacted me directly through my profile. Let's assume I didn't sell myself. How will he know that there's someone called Mutiat somewhere? They won't know. It is through all this social media. You should make use of this social media. Social media is not just for snapping, posting pictures, dancing, or this. It is for your CV. Is it an online CV that you should make a priority to? Go there, put everything about you, what you know you can do. Don't lie. Put what you know you can do, the skills you acquired, and with that, I believe you gain opportunities with that. And what I will advise the young ones coming to this cybersecurity is that you should be patient, because this field at times is funny. Maybe your expectations is not coming. Don't just relent. Keep pushing, and keep pushing till you get there. Even when you get there, at times when you get an interview, employer might deny you. That doesn't mean you didn't want it. No, they can say, okay, we've moved on with another candidate. Don't let that weigh you down. keep on pushing, you will eventually get to where they will employ you, even if you don't know it. They will like, okay, this lady does need something that we need to train him or her on. And they will give you, like me now, when I'm in this field, I first of all go for volunteers. Through that volunteer, I met a friend, and a friend said, Mutiat, there is one organizations, like every year they do like employ internship and all. I said, okay, which company is that? She gave me, I met this lady online. Even till now, I have not seen her face to face, but we are chatting, we are good, we are friends, and we met on community. And when I get there, they were like, oh, we need a cloud security and we are pen testing. Okay, are you good? Are you fast enough? When we train you on this, are you fast to grab? And I said, yes, I'm a fast learner. So within a week, they showed me these tools and the tools they use for cloud security, and I'm able to catch up. And that is why I'm a cloud analyst and also a pen testing. What I trained myself on is pen testing, but when the opportunity came, I was like, okay, let me just go for this too. Then it becomes an added advantage to me. Don't just limit yourself to one skills. Use many skills. Go for many field. It's not that your same field have so many specializations that you should go for. If you see that, okay, this one is not the way that I expected, just go for another one. But be persistent, patient till you get that job. There's a lot of opportunities, like Mansour said, there's a lot. An employer will call you by themselves when they see you have the skills they are looking for. So with this, I think this is my advice for the youngs fellows that are coming, and I wish you best of luck in your tech journey. Yeah,
Thank you so much, Mutia.
you're welcome.
Over to you, man. So, are there any word of advice? I know a lot have been said today here. Or are there any final words you would want the software engineering aspirants who are listening today to take home with them?
Well, yeah, I think I have quite a few things to say. First thing I, first thing I would say is that as they are stepping into this very realm of software engineering, there's one ability I'll advise them. If they don't have that ability, they should try and develop it. That's the ability to sit in one place for a very long time, doing one thing for a long time, whether they like it or not. They should have that patience to keep on doing it for a long time. It's very important. And then I'll also make emphasis on the importance of community, actually. I'm making emphasis on that because I know how I've seen how important it is, and I have benefited from it. It's very important. As you start learning now, you try to get yourself involved with one or two or tech communities. And then one thing you want them to also know is that programming languages are just tools. They're just mere tools. IDEs are just tools. They're just like spanner and screwdriver that a mechanic use to repair a machine. So a mechanic cannot say he's only used to using a spanner type spanner 13. That he don't like using spanner 3 or spanner 8. So programming languages are just tools, and there are problems that they'll bring to you that you have to figure out, okay, which language is suitable. As long as you understand one language, you understand the concept of programming languages, you should be ready to spend a week learning a new language to solve a problem that is required. So, and then you should network, make friends. This 3MTT will enable you to meet a lot of people who are more experienced than you, and people who are less experienced compared to you. So it's for you to make sure you build network, you make friends, and people who you can share your ideas with, people who you can talk about technology with, people who you can understand, you might get to understand the same language. So I think that's all I have to say. And then there's one thing I wanted to say, kind of skip. Oh, oh, uh, all right. It's important for you to persist, actually. Persistence, resilience, and tenacity is something that you really need to imbibe. It's very important because there are times that you feel like giving up. There are times that you go for one interview and then you'll be disappointed and you feel like, ha, why am I even forcing myself in this thing? This thing is not for me. No, no. And once you are given an opportunity, there are opportunities that will come your way that you feel like you're not up to the task, you don't have the skill. Once someone is willing to give you that chance, whether you have the skill or you don't have it, pick that challenge, take up the opportunity, go and face it with full force, with all you have. And I'm telling you, you'll be surprised how you're going to crush it. Absolutely. So don't be scared. Don't be scared. You are already into this. You shouldn't be scared of any challenge that will be put across or will put your way. You face it with all you have. Because the opportunities you think are difficult, like the difficult tasks that will be thrown at you will be the more like the key to open the door for success for you. So if you back down with because you are afraid or you're scared, you are really going to stay there for a long time. So you have to be bold enough to pick up challenges and find your way around them and solve them. That's what you are meant for. You are meant to solve problems. So whichever problems is thrown at you, be ready to pick it up and crush it. That's all I can say.
Thank you so much, Manso, and thank you once again, Mutiat. It's been a very, very engaging discussion so far. And to our audience, to everyone who is listening, if you've been impacted by this conversation, by this webinar today, feel free to leave a comment of something you learned or just a note of thanks to our very phenomenal speakers. Thank you once again for joining us. And this is where we're going to be drawing the curtain for today. So until next time, yes, see you on the next webinar. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you to the MTT. I think I'm loving what Bosun is doing actually. It's impressive. And I just hope we should have more and more like him on that ministry going forward. People who do more and more than he's doing. And I'm excited. I'm excited about this.
Of course,
The
we
future
all
is
are.
bright actually for Nigeria. The future is bright for Nigeria. Yeah.
Yes, it is. Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, KMTT.